All right, so I'm Ryan Jane. I'm a staff attorney with FFRF. I've been a legal fellow for a couple years, and I'm the most recent staff attorney. Happy to introduce Jerry Bloom, the next Freethinker of the Year recipient. When I became an FFRF legal fellow in the fall of 2015, I did not expect to immediately be handed my first federal lawsuit to handle, but that's what ended up happening. It started when Jerry, an FFRF member from Shelton, Connecticut, reached out to us in November of 2015 when he became aware of that the city of Shelton, Connecticut had allowed the American Legion to put a religious angel display up every December in a city park that's called Constitution Park. How's that for irony? So Jerry applied for a permit to put up FFRF's Winter Solstice display in Constitution Park, which, among other things, the display states that there are no angels. And guess what? We were denied. The city said, no, we think that many will find that display offensive, so you may not put it up. So Jerry readily agreed to be the lead plaintiff in a federal lawsuit, which was FFRF and Jerome H. Bloom versus the city of Shelton, Connecticut. This is a federal lawsuit filed in March of 2016. Liz Cavell was the head attorney on the case, and I served as co-counsel. As a result of the lawsuit, during the holiday season this past year, the city permanently agreed to stop hosting any angels display or any other display in Constitution Park, and they also promised that FFRF would be able to put up its own display in any form that the city does put up. So the city also reimbursed FFRF for our court costs. So overall, the lawsuit was a complete victory. In addition to being a staunch state church activist, Jerry is a retired RN. He's a U.S. Army veteran. He has a wide range of interests, including art, urban archaeology, paleontology, stargazing, bird watching, and chess. He actually beat me at a chess game yesterday and has agreed to give me a rematch over lunch today. So on behalf of FFRF, I am delighted to name you, Jerry Bloom, as a Freethinker of the Year.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Where to start? I, like you all, am an atheist. However, I would like to give religion its due. The greatest art mankind has ever produced has been inspired by religion. Where would the world be without the Sistine Chapel? David, the Pieta, Cellini's Ecstasy of St. Teresa, Beethoven's Ode to Joy, Handel's Messiah. These are things we can all relate to and understand and recognize as beautiful. I'm not going to go into the other half of what religion has done. I'd like to give you all a short history lesson. On All Saints' Day in 1755, a natural disaster enabled us to become what we are today. On that date, an enormous earthquake struck in the Atlantic Ocean. It leveled the city of Lisbon, Portugal. It rang church bells in Paris. It was felt in Moscow. Bays drained in Norway. A 50-foot tidal wave struck soon afterwards. killing thousands. This was 9:30 in the morning as the city of Lisbon's populace was going to church. The King of Portugal, amongst the other monarchs of the continent, were very upset, to say the least, and the King of Portugal appointed an aristocrat, I don't recall his name, to manage the disaster. And he essentially told the king who asked, "What shall we do?" And he told him, "Bury the dead and clean up the debris," which seems pretty logical to avoid outbreak of disease. And people were very fraught. How could God do this to us on All Saints' Day? Essentially what that did is usher in the era of enlightenment, where people actually questioned the existence of a benevolent, all-loving God. Unfortunately, religion survived the Age of Enlightenment. So here we are today. Okay. All right. So, what's there to add? Ryan summed up the case pretty succinctly. Oh, by the way, I'm suing Shelton again. Yeah. For years now, they have had a "God bless Shelton Police" sign on the lawn of their police department, flanked by American flags. I approached Mayor Loretti again and asked him to remove it, and he refused. I made an appointment with the police chief, which he was a no-show on. So they really leave me no alternative. I'll be filing the summonses next week when I get home. Okay, so there's approximately 1 billion of us atheists in the world. There are 7 billion people in the world. How does 1/7 convince the 6/7 that they are wrong? Mass marketing. Okay. I mean, it's going to take more than placards and billboards. We should have like the weekly, as opposed to evangelical hour, the weekly atheist hour out there on the air. Also, I learned that although religion is a mind-altering thing, the Food and Drug Administration does not consider it a drug. I went down and I asked. They were very upset about that question. However, I suggest that it be limited to those of the age of consent, or at least with the cognitive capacity to see and smell bullshit when they hear it and see it. Also, I'd like to draw upon our governmental resources. The Federal Trade Commission should become involved with false advertising in the cases of the televangelism, who are on TV requesting donations to gain God's favor. This is something that they should be able to verify to substantiate their claims. Oh, okay. to substantiate their claims. Additionally, religion should be required to do the same to maintain their tax-exempt status. Which should only be authorized to those that have bona fide religions. Here's something I love. I don't think it's quite this high now, but the Roman Catholic Church, the last I heard, owns 168 million acres of land worldwide. This has been reduced, of course, because of the payouts and settlements that they've had to do over the years. If they were unable to provide this evidence of their deity's existence and have their tax-exempt status stripped, it would pretty much mean their extinction in this country. Okay. Okay, I'll finish up with this. I love this. This is an original. I mean, Freud thought that religion, he called it religion, the universal obsessional compulsion of humanity. I think this one's better. And it would make a good bumper sticker. Religion is the accepted insanity and the plague that afflicts humanity. It is a multi-billion-dollar tax-exempt industry which peddles snake oil, which makes people stupid about reality. Thank you.